Hey everybody. Hey, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I want to bring you back here and show you some little updates on what I'm doing on Big Red. We've been working on the log bed off and on when I can. We've had 10,000 things going on, and the weather has not been cooperating too good, and we're having to work outside. I don't have a shop, so we got that battle to fight. We had to work in between rain showers, and the kids has been off. We've been doing a little bit of playing, going swimming and stuff like that. So we've had a few activities going on that has kind of held me up from what I need to be doing, but it's all been fun. But anyway, today we're going to be setting the log stands and the headache rack on this frame. And Skylar's going to come by and help me here in just a little bit, because I'm going to need some help with the skid steer, and especially with the headache rack. I think probably I can do the stands by myself, but I'm going to need some help with the headache rack, so he's coming here in a little bit to help me. So I'll hopefully be able to show him helping some. But I want to take y'all over here and show you kind of what we got going. Okay, so with this deal that I've got set up on here, with the frame rails, you know, you got the frame rails of the truck right here and then the bed frame. And for the purpose of this video, we're going to call this truck frame. We're going to call that the bed frame. Okay, so with the bed frame, the headache rack is going to go right in this low area. And it's going to stand up right here behind the cab. And we're going to have 6 inches of gap between the headache rack and the back of the cab. Okay, so everywhere there's a piece of angle iron right here where it stood up straight, this will be the center of my log bunks. My H-beams are just set right down over the top of those, and then we've got one here. So as you can see, from this one over to this one, that's going to be a 7.5 foot log bunk. And then back here in the back, see the center two stands will be close together. And then the back rack back here. Okay. So hopefully y'all can kind of make that out. And I'm not going to remove those angle iron pieces. I'm just going to set the H-beam right over the top of it. But the reason I had to do it this way, y'all, this I-beam wasn't exactly straight, and I wanted to get it dead straight coming down the frame of the truck. So because I'm going to take U-bolts and bolt the bed frame to the truck frame, big U-bolts, like 3/4 inch U-bolts. I'll put 4 down this side and 4 down that side. Right here I had to weld, I had to join 2 pieces of I-beam because the steel mill could only get these in 20-foot sticks. So I had to take 2 3-foot pieces, and these I actually had to cut them down to 2 foot. I had to add this piece and that piece over there to get 2 extra feet onto the log bed. And I'm actually going to be 22 feet from the back of the cab up here to right here is what it works out to be. So with that being said, I've got to get in here and put me some chalk lines. And like right here, I'll give you an example. See these chalk lines I've got marked here and over there? That represents the center of the back stand, and I wanted it to be pretty much in line with my trunnion, which is right here on my tandems. It's a little bit behind the trunnion, which is fine, and that might actually help it just a little bit. And after we're done, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on why I've got the duals back here at the very back, just to give you just a little bit of insight on that. This truck is a heavy spec truck. It's got a heavy front axle, and in order to load that front axle on a tandem axle truck, the tandems have to be all the way to the rear, or you won't get enough weight on the front. You'll wind up with too much on the back. Now later on in life, I'm probably going to move the tandems up to where that third stand is, right there. That'll give me a shorter turning radius, and then I'm going to add a tag axle back here on the back where this dual is right now. We'll take and move these up to right here. And then we'll add a tag axle back here, a drop axle on the back. And what that'll do is it'll let the truck balance out, but also have a shorter turning radius with the deals up closer. But I'm not gonna worry about doing that right now. For now, it'll balance out right because the deals are all the way to the back. But first thing we gotta do is get these frame rails, the bed frame, we've got to get it off the truck. And I welded all these braces in and stuff up here on the truck because I could get them level side to side and square and all that good mess. You know, without having a concrete floor or something to work on and get it absolutely perfect. I set them up here and done the same exact thing. Now, right here is where the bed is going to end, and I've scored it with a grinding wheel right there. And you know, from right here back, all that's going to go. It's going to be cut off. And then I'm going to weld a big 3/4 inch hitch plate on the back, and that'll be where the pintle hitch and all that mess goes. All right, y'all, I've got this thing off the truck. I just set it down on the ground on some blocks, and it's not level right here where it's at. So I just kind of leveled it up side or front to back best I could, and then it's setting a little sideways, which I don't think will be a problem. I've got it to where it's, you know, it's even. It's not like torqued and twisted. But with that being said, I've got 3 stands on, and I'm going to put the 4th one on, and I just kind of want to show y'all how I'm doing that. Now this I was able to do by myself, and the rain's fixing to blow in here in a minute, so hopefully we can get through this. Basically what I've got to do is find the center of the stands, mark it, measure 17 inches on each side of it. That's going to give me 34 inches, you know, wide. And then I need to line those lines up with the outsides of the I-beam. Because the outside of the I-beam is 34 inches, which matches the frame rails on the truck. So that's what we're going to do right now, right quick. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is find a center. So I'm going to measure all the way across. I'll tell you what, let me go from this side so that way y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to measure all the way across the bottom, outside to outside. It's 101 inches, dead on the money. So 101 inches divided by 2, as best as my math is 50 and a half. So we're going to mark 50 and a half. And then I should be able to measure from this side and get the same exact thing. My mark should not have moved on the tape measure. All right, we're good. So it stayed the same, 50 and a half. All right. Now again, our frame rails are 34 inches all the way across. So I need half of that, which is 17. So I'm going to mark 17 inches. There. And right there. Okay. So now we'll draw 2 more lines. Okay, so we got 3 lines. This indicates center. This indicates the outside of our frame rail. So when we stand it up, we'll make sure these lines line up on the outside of the frame rail. So now I'm going to show y'all how I stood it up by myself. Sounds like Skyler's pulling in on his old diesel truck. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how I've been doing it by myself. Alright, now y'all remember these lines here has got to be on the outside of the frame rails. And then I've got the frame mark down here on the bottom. Remember I told you that channel iron indicated center of the H-beam. So I measured back to find out where my H-beam, the outsides would sit back here. So now that I've got it lined up side to side, now we'll check it to make sure it's straight on the frame. That's 2 1/4 inches. All right, that's 2 1/4 inches. So now I'm just going to check on the inside to make sure that it's square. The H-beam is square with the I-beam. And it is. It's got the same distance from the front. It's square. Our lines line up on the outside of the H-beam. It might could come my way just a hair. Alright, now I'll bring you over here and show you what I'm talking about so you can see these lines. Alright, you see right here? So this line is on the outside of the H-beam. My bottom line is lined up with the bottom here. This line is on the outside of the I-beam, and this white line on the I-beam is lined up with the H-beam. So we're good and square. We got the same distance from the front. Now we're ready to weld it down. Alright, before we weld it, I need to clean it up. There's a good chance we're fixing to get soaking wet right here in just a minute, so I got to kind of hurry along. Now this part of the video is for all y'all iron workers and oil makers, you know, welders. Hey look, my hat's off to you. I work with y'all kind of guys every day. And this is just, you know, it's old bull work, what I call it. Heavy, hot, it's dangerous, you can get your hands smashed. But I'm thankful for the iron workers and the boiler makers that I've worked around in my lifetime, in my craft, cross crafting and whatnot, to be able to learn how to handle this heavy stuff like this. And it's helped me to do this on my own without, you know, having any help at the moment. But now Skylar's right over there, and we're going to have to work together to set this headache rack, because it's a little bit more involved than what these stands are. So that's going to be the next part of the video, Lord willing, if we can work around this rain. All right, y'all, we got this thing on here. It was not an easy chore to do, and I wished I would have started videoing before we quit. But Skylar and his girlfriend, Gracie, they have been excellent help today. And by the way, Gracie's an aspiring welder as well. And we use a skid steer to rig the headache rack on. And then what we did is we hung a chain on one side and a come along on the other to level the thing, to get it up there and get it straight with the bed. I wished I could have showed y'all that, but as you can see, we've had some rain. But it's not finished. I got to get in here and put some gusset plates in right here on the front. And I've got a lot of burning in to do on these stands. And I'm going to be putting gusset plates in here, 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 and here to stiffen those stands up. And then, of course, I've got to put a hitch plate on the truck. So I've got a decent amount more to do. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. But this is the gist of it, y'all. This is Big Red's bed that's going to be on him. It's not perfect. My welding and fab work is not perfect, but I'm pretty proud of it so far. All right, y'all, look, thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate Skylar and Gracie coming, you know, helping me rig this thing on here. They've been a big help today. In fact, if they weren't here, I probably wouldn't have never got it on here, and I definitely wouldn't have got it straight. You know, Skylar was running the skid steer for me. Gracie was checking it for square, you know, and they just a big help. And I wished I could have showed y'all more of it, but like I said, we've been pressed by the rain, and golly, it's just raining near about every day. So it's hard for me to get anything done and get caught up. And I got to get this thing done so we can get back in the woods. We've got jobs waiting on us. But anyway, look, Skylar and Gracie, you know, Wednesdays, it's their day to sort of hang out and go out on a date and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure that they didn't plan on coming over here and helping me hang a headache rack and welding and stuff like that as a date night. What do y'all think? Probably not? No. So I really appreciate that. They've been a big help today to me. But look, if you've enjoyed this video and you like what we're doing here, you know, you like chainsaws, mules, gardening, and you know, all this good stuff, big trucks, you know, if you like that kind of stuff, hey, hit that subscribe button. And if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button for me. That'll help us out, push our videos down the road, and I'll definitely appreciate it. As always, y'all, I'm gonna put my email up here on the screen. If you need me, just holler at me. Be glad to talk to you. And as always, I'm going to be praying for you, each and every one of you. If you're hearing my voice right now, I'm praying for you, I promise. But look, y'all take care of yourself, and we'll see you on the next one.